Hello students and friends. Welcome to Homeopathy Medicines. Today in this homeopathic materia medica lesson, I will discuss about homeopathic medicine sanguinaria. Before starting this video, please subscribe to this channel for Learn Homeopathy Online Free and Homeopathy Materia Medica. We need support from you to make this channel more beautiful and more informative. Now going to discuss about sanguinaria, its uses and symptoms. Bloodroot is an old domestic remedy. A great many Eastern farmers' wives will not go into the winter without bloodroot in the house. In the cold winter days, when the coryzas come on, a cold in the head, throat and chest, then they get the bloodroot ready and make a tea of it. With them it is a routine remedy for colds. They give it to combat all complaints. And there is no doubt but that even in this crude form it does break up colds, because the provings show its relation to chest troubles and colds that go to the chest. Periodic headaches. When the headache comes once in 7 days, it begins in the morning on waking or wakes the patient up. It begins in the occiput and travels upward and settles over the right eye and in the right temple. It gets worse during the day and is aggravated by light, so that he is driven into a dark room and compelled to lie down. Vomiting comes on and the vomited matter is bile, slime, bitter substance and food, and then comes relief of the pain. The headaches are relieved from passing flatus up or down. If the patient suffers when he goes to bed with hot palms and soles, so that he must put them out of bed, this is an additional striking feature. Take an individual who has missed his chronic headache, by some means, for a considerable time, but since then he has become increasingly sensitive to cold, and colds settle in the nose, throat and bronchial tube, and these parts feel as if on fire, with rawness and burning. The expectoration is thick, tenacious mucus, disturbance of the belly, with much belching, and the belching is especially noticed after a violent attack of coughing. It is not a very long-acting remedy. When a periodic sick headache is interrupted by sanguinaria, if a deeper drug, an antipsoric, is not given, the headache will return or something worse will come on, as sanguinaria does not go deep into the nature of the case. I remember a case in which the patient missed his sanguinaria headache and an epithelioma developed, which was cured by phosphorus. I am convinced that if phosphorus had been given at the end of the attack, the cancer would not have developed, as phosphorus was his constitutional remedy. If a chronic sick headache is interrupted, the patient will tend to phthisis. Chest troubles come on and grow worse and worse. Its ability to palliate phthisis is very well known. A patient much debilitated with bronchial catarrh, susceptible to cold, to every change in the weather, from change to damp weather, to every draft, to change of clothing, always taking new cold. There is burning in the chest behind the sternum, thick, tough, ropey expectoration, spasmodic cough, and every cough ends in belching, eructations of gas, empty eructations. If to the burning in the chest, the severe pains in the larynx and trachea when talking, and cough ending in belching, you add heat in the palms and soles, sanguinaria will patch him up and mitigate the trouble. Many such cases get sulfur, but to their destruction. There is a class of remedies that suits these phthisical patients better than sulfur, silicea and graphites, remedies such as pulsatilla, sanguinaria, senecio gracilis and coccus cacti, which palliate, mitigate his sufferings, and may even build him up so that he could take a medium potency of a deep remedy. But the deeper remedies ought to be avoided if the vital force is low, if the body is too much damaged to be repaired. Hahnemann warned against the use of phosphorus in such cases of deficient vitality. Sanguinaria is a surface remedy, it does excellent palliation. Catarrhal conditions of nose and throat, especially those due to colds and to poisonous plants, also rose colds. The sanguinaria patient has rose colds in June. Sensitive to flowers and odors, subjects with hay fever. Hay fever patients with burning in the nose, in the throat, as if dry, as if the mucous membrane would crack open. Dryness and burning in the larynx, with hoarseness, dryness and burning throughout the chest, with asthma, associated with burning of the palms and soles. Examination shows the palms to be dry, wrinkled and hot to the touch, so, also, the soles, where the skin is thickened and indurated. Corns that burn, the toes burn and the patient puts the feet out of bed for relief. When the headache is present, it seems to be a general congestive headache, although beginning in the morning, coming up the back and extending to the right eye, the whole head is hot and aches. Sulfur, silicea and sanguinaria have periodic weekly headaches. Arsenicum has a headache every 2 weeks. Not that these remedies will not cure other headaches, for sanguinaria has also a headache every 3 days. The majority of headaches coming every 2 weeks are cured by arsenicum or greatly mitigated in broken down constitutions. The attempt to cure a chronic sick headache should be made before the senile decline. Pulsations in the head with bitter vomiting, aggravated by motion. The headache is generally aggravated by motion, but not so strikingly as in bryonia. When the sanguinaria headache increases towards the afternoon or night, it becomes so severe he must go to bed, and the head becomes sore, and then a step or jar is extremely painful. A severe headache is likely to be disturbed by light, noise, motion, etc. Headache as if forehead would burst with chill, and burning in stomach. Headache over right eye. This is a characteristic feature. Periodic sick headache, begins in the morning, increases during the day, lasts till evening. Head feels as if it must burst, or as if eyes would be pushed out, throbbing, lancinating pains through brain, worse on the right side, especially in the forehead and vertex, followed by chills, nausea, vomiting of food or bile, must lie down or remain quiet, ameliorated by sleep. Some of these things are not found in every case, but they all go to make up a sanguinaria headache. All sorts of neuralgic pains, cutting, tearing, lacerating pains, as if the muscles were torn, or put on a stretch. Tearing pains anywhere, neuralgic or rheumatic. Pains about the scalp, but more particularly about the shoulder and neck, stiff neck, cannot turn over in bed, cannot raise the arm, though he can swing it back and forth. Pain streaks up the neck, pain in the deltoid. It prefers the right side, but also cures the left side. Rheumatic pains in the right shoulder so that he cannot raise the arm, and all the muscles of the neck and back of the neck become involved, stiff neck. If the pain comes on in the day, it increases as the day advances to night. Complaints are worse at night in sanguinaria. A patient comes to you after exposure to cold, he cannot raise the arm, it hangs by his side, pain worse at night in bed, worse turning over, as he uses the shoulder muscle to turn over. It is probably in the deltoid, but you need not speculate on the tissues involved. It competes with ferrum. All red-faced, highly flushed people, who cannot raise the arm and have pain which is worse in the daytime, not night, and ameliorated by slow motion, need ferrum. Sanguinaria is not relieved by motion, it is aggravated by such motion as calls the arm into use. Ferrum has relief from slow motion, aggravation from rapid motion, and the pain comes in the daytime. While ferrum has a uniformly red, plethoric face, sanguinaria has a pale face. In the chest complaints, sanguinaria has a circumscribed red spot over the malar bones, such as seen in hectic patients. Headache from stomach disturbances, overeating, rich food, drinking wine. Almost as useful as nux in old drinkers. Those who disorder their stomachs and weaken their digestion by beer drinking, they cannot eat, vomiting of even a teaspoonful of water. No food or drink stays on the stomach. Headaches associated with such troubles. Vomiting and diarrhea with complaints. Catarrhal affections are prominent. Chronic catarrh of the throat, apparent thickening of the mucous membranes of the throat. Nose and pharynx fill with mucus. He hawks it out, there is a dry burning sensation, but the burning is most marked every time he takes a fresh cold. Acridity of discharges is another feature. Acrid mucus forms in the nose, causing burning in the throat. Acrid, hot fluids eructated from the stomach, excoriating the throat and mouth. The diarrhea is accompanied by an acrid watery stool, Especially in infants, the nates become raw and red. This burning extends all through the bowels, burning in the abdomen and stomach in old gastric troubles, vomiting of even a teaspoonful of water with burning, old gastric irritation, dyspepsia, all sorts of disorders of the stomach. Tongue red and burns as if in contact with something hot. Burning in pharynx and esophagus, burning in roof of mouth. Tonsillitis with burning. Heat in throat, ameliorated by inspiring cold air, throat so dry it seems as if it would crack. This burning excoriated feeling applies to all the mucous membranes affected. Patient suddenly taken to bed with a chill, burning in the chest, symptoms of pneumonia, rusty expectoration, violent cough, every cough felt as a concussion at the bifurcation of the trachea, as if a knife were in the parts, as if torn asunder, and after the cough copious, loud, empty eructations. No other remedy has this. Nausea with burning at the stomach, with much spitting. Nausea not relieved by vomiting. Keeps on vomiting and retching. Burns as if on fire. Arsenic is often given by mistake, because of the great burning. Vomiting of bitter water, of sour, acrid fluids, of ingesta, of worms, preceded by anxiety, with headache and burning in stomach, head relieved afterwards, with prostration. Such symptoms occur as headache, disordered stomach, sour stomach. The sour stomach is manifested by sour eructations or sour vomiting. A patient often speaks of a sour stomach, and you must find out whether he means sour eructations or sour vomiting. He says he spits up sour food. With a headache and many complaints, sanguinaria has a faintness, like a hunger, yet not for food. A thinking, faint, all gone, empty feeling. It is like phosphorus with its hungry headache. Suriname leads all others in hungry headaches, but Suriname wants to eat and cannot get enough. Sanguinaria has a hunger, but it is not for food, aversion at the thought and smell of food. Suriname can eat a wolf meal, and so can phosphorus. It is a false hunger with the headache in sanguinaria. Burning in stomach, with headache and chill. Belching up of acrid hot fluids in asthma, asthma. Sanguinaria palliates asthma associated with stomach disorders. Do not forget nux in asthma from stomach troubles. Liver complaints, pains and aches and sense of fullness. Bilious trouble described in general terms. It seems as if the liver makes an enormous quantity of bile, but there is a gastroduodenal catarrh, so that the bile is regurgitated into the stomach instead of going down, and it is eructated as bitter, green, yellow fluid, vitiated bile. This is a peculiar thing. If you watch a chronic sanguinaria patient, you will notice that the stomach will be disordered for a week, spitting up bile, much flatulence, sour hot eructations, then all at once this will disappear, and a diarrhea, which fairly floods him, comes on suddenly, a bilious, liquid, gushing stool. Natrum sulph, sanguinaria, pulsatilla and lycopodium cure this alternation of diarrhea and constipation. Os uteri ulcerated, fetid, corrosive leukorrhea. Distension of abdomen in the evening and flatulent discharges by vagina from os uteri, which was constantly open, at same time a pain passing in rays from nape of neck to head. Chronic dryness in throat, sensation of swelling in the larynx and expectoration of thick mucus when associated with dryness, rawness, burning and smarting. Whooping cough, constricted, spasmodic action across throat beneath jaws, cough worse at night with diarrhea. Cough worse at night with diarrhea is the feature this remedy is prescribed for. Severe cough occurring after whooping cough, when patient takes cold, which partakes of the spasmodic nature of whooping cough. An adult takes cold and has a spasmodic cough, like whooping cough. He says it is a stomach cough, because there is a gagging with it. In all there is burning and diarrhea. Distressing, dry, spasmodic, exhaustive coughs, especially in children, worse towards night, lying down, going into a cold room to sleep, feeling of rawness and burning in bronchi. The trachea seems so sore, and it is sore, a bolus of food passing down the esophagus can be plainly felt, he can outline the part where the food passes. Sanguinaria canadensis Materia medica is a right-sided remedy preeminently, and affects chiefly the mucous membranes, especially of the respiratory tract. It has marked vasomotor disturbances, as seen in the circumscribed redness of the cheeks, flashes of heat, determination of blood to head and chest, distension of temporal veins, burning in palms and soles, and has been found very applicable to climacteric disorders. Burning sensations, like from hot water. Influenzal coughs. Phthisis. Sudden stopping of catarrh of respiratory tract followed by diarrhea. Burning in various parts is characteristic. Head, worse right side, sun headache. Periodical sick headache, pain begins in occiput, spreads upwards, and settles over eyes, especially right. Veins and temples are distended. Pain better lying down and sleep. Headaches return at climacteric, every 7th day, sabad. Pain in small spot over upper left parietal bone. Burning in eyes. Pain in the back of head like a flash of lightning. Face, flushed. Neuralgia, pain extends in all directions from upper jaw. Redness and burning of cheeks. Hectic flush. Fullness and tenderness behind angle of jaws. Nose, hay fever. Ozana, with profuse, offensive yellowish discharges. Nasal polypi. Coryza, followed by diarrhea. Chronic rhinitis, membrane dry and congested. Ears, burning in ears. Earache with headache. Humming and roaring. Oral polypus. Throat, swollen, worse, right side. Dry and constricted. Ulceration of mouth and flosses, with dry, burning sensation. Tongue white, feels scalded. Tonsillitis. Stomach, aversion to butter. Craving for piquant things. Unquenchable thirst. Burning, vomiting. Nausea, with salivation. Sinking, faint all gone feeling, Fos, September. Spitting up of bile, gastroduodenal catarrh. Abdomen, diarrhea as coryza improves. Pain over region of liver. Diarrhea, bilious, liquid, gushing stool, natself, lycop. Cancer of rectum. Female, leukorrhea fetid, corrosive. Menses offensive, profuse. Soreness of breasts. Uterine polypi. Before, menses, itching of axillae. Climacteric disorders. Respiratory, edema of larynx. Trachea sore. Heat and tension behind the sternum. Aphonia. Cough of gastric origin, relieved by eructation. Cough, with burning pain in chest, worse, right side. Sputum tough, rust-colored, offensive, almost impossible to raise. Spasmodic cough after influenza and after whooping cough. Cough returns with every fresh cold. Tickling behind sternum, causes a constant hacking cough, worse at night on lying down. Must sit up in bed. Burning soreness in right chest, through to right shoulder. Severe soreness under right nipple. Hemoptysis from suppressed menses. Severe dyspnea and constriction of chest. Offensive breath and purulent expectoration. Burning in chest as of hot steam from chest to abdomen. Fibroid phthisis. Pneumonia, better, lying on back. Asthma with stomach disorders, NUCs. Valvular disease with lung development, phosphates in urine and loss of flesh. Sudden stoppage of catarrh of air passages brings on diarrhea. Extremities, rheumatism of right shoulder, left hip joint and nape of neck. Burning in soles and palms. Rheumatic pains in places least covered by flesh, not in joints. Soles of feet burn. Right side neuritis, better touching the part. Skin, antidotes, ruse poisoning. Red, blotchy eruptions, worse in spring. Burning and itching, worse by heat. Acne, with scanty menses. Circumscribed red spots over molar bones. Modalities, worse, sweets, right side, motion, touch. Better, acids, sleep, darkness. Sanguinarinum nitricum materia medica is of use in polypus of the nose. Acute and chronic catarrh. Acute pharyngitis, withia, smarting and burning in throat and chest especially under sternum. influenza, lacrimation, pains in eyes and head, sore scalp, sense of obstruction, chronic follicular pharyngitis, nose, feels obstructed, profuse, watery mucus, with burning pain, enlarged turbinates at beginning of hypertrophic process, secretion scant, tendency to dryness, small crusts which bleed when removed, postnasal secretions adherent to nasopharynx, dislodged with difficulty, dry and burning nostrils, watery mucus, with pressure over root of nose, nostrils plugged with thick, yellow, bloody mucus, sneezing, rawness and soreness in posterior nares, throat, rough, dry, constricted, burning, right tonsil sore, swallowing difficult, mouth, ulceration on the side of the tongue, respiratory, short, hacking cough, with expectoration of thick, yellow, sweetish mucus, pressure behind center of sternum, dryness and burning in throat and bronchi, tickling cough, chronic nasal, laryngeal, and bronchial catarrh, voice altered, deep, hoarse. Thanks for watching this video. If you want more videos like Sanguinaria, please subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. To learn homeopathy course online free with Homeopathy Materia Medica. Comment us your feedback and what you want in the next video. Like and share this video with your friends and family. For paid and free consultancy online, visit homeopathymedicines.com and mashclinic.com. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay healthy, stay happy.